Gaming Wars, Chief Rocky here with another episode of Chief's Shipyard, and today we're going to continue with this long-range transport slash expedition escape pod SV build. So I went ahead and tucked it away for the night. As you can see, it still perfectly fits in the Pax Imperia. Just fits in the Pax though. Alright, but it's perfect enough. You can see you can come up right next to it. You still got room to walk around. I can still get to the auxiliary engine areas right there. I can still walk around here. I can still get to the main passage, going down to the living areas and stuff. I did make some changes to this, which let me pull this out and we'll go over. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen, but okay. Alright. Okay. Get up. Get up. Get up. There we go. Alright. Let's pull this out and I'll go over the changes. And as you can see, it perfectly fits. Now let's even her out. Okay, cool. And let's jump out. I said jump out. Thank you very much. Alright. Let me get my jetpack on. Alrighty, so I added some just cosmetic blocks in here, which eventually today actually we're going to be going ahead and decorating everything up and painting everything. I did this kind of like slope here just to kind of make things break up a bit. It was just a little bit too boxy in here. Same back here. What I did was I added the constructor in here along with the fuel tanks, and this so you could obviously add fuel and everything there if you want. There's external oxygen tanks right here that go piped through. You can get your O2 or through the ventilators here. You still got your areas right here where you could get access to fuel as well. Alright. Refrigerators, cargo boxes, ammo. So you can see where you get enough room to stand in here, and we could definitely hold troops and everything. Alright, let's go outside and show you what I did here. Alright, so I was having issues with basically sliding around. So I had larger thrusters here, which I took out. It was just way too much forward thrust, and these guys right here just couldn't stop us good enough. And I want this thing to be able to stop and accelerate kind of at an even pace. Same thing here. These three guys right here weren't doing enough, so I added an extra 3 just because we were just going all over the place, man. It was crazy. Same thing with like downwards. I just downwards wasn't too much of an issue, but all I had were these 6 right here. So I added actually a larger one right here to compensate for taking out this large one here, because I don't want it to like shoot out like a rocket. All right. I added an extra single thruster right here. So 2 on each side. And then I didn't have enough upwards thrust. These 3 right here on either side, these 6 weren't doing it. So I added another 6 right here. I was having on a Omicron, I was on the surface, just having an issue literally coming off the deck. I couldn't do it. I had to push forward and climb up, and it was utterly ridiculous. So I changed some of that. But other than that, everything still is unchanged as before. Oh, one of these here in the center now faces forward and the other 2 face down for lighting. So we basically got lighting all around. You can see where you're landing and everything. Alright, so and this is just aesthetic, kind of like a transceiver or a receiver to receive and transmit information out of. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and start texturing and coloring. Alright guys, I'm going to speed through this one. So I have completed the texturing and the paint job and some reorganization of this fantastic SV. I would love to say it's pretty, but a lot of the people that play with me, Spanch, Static Hair, Lucifer, they would all agree. I don't build pretty. It's just, yeah, it's, I don't know. Everything I build either looks like a bug or something, but it's kind of fitting to the color scheme and the kind of atmosphere I want this vehicle to have. Obviously, I want it to be reminiscent and very utilized, kind of how the Star Trek space shuttle is used. Right? You got this fantastic warship here, the Pax Imperia, and I designed it after a ship built by a friend of mine in Space Engineers, and I didn't want to corrupt the design. I didn't want to corrupt the hull because it was just a fantastic build. Just the layout, the contours of it was beautiful. So I needed to build a ship that fit in here, but met all the criteria that I needed it to fill, as kind of like being one of those vessels from Star Trek, right? Which warp drive, be able to go down to the planet's surface, be able to be utilized as some type of exploratory ship, but still hold people, still have a warp drive, right? So it needs to fill all these roles and still fit in the ship. And guess what? I have achieved that. Now, getting out is easy. I just lift up a little bit and back out. It's getting in. It's kind of a wiggle, but I mean, when you're trying to evacuate, let's say this ship is going down and you're just trying to get the hell out of Dodge, you ain't trying to come back in. You're trying to get out. So anyways, so you can see it fits nice and perfectly. I got this little antenna on the rear. I really dislike, they really need, I would really love to see more ramps added, because I put two together and they operate functionally together, but they just, yeah, man. Thank God, we don't have old people on the ship. Oh man. Anyhow. So, yeah. So I decided for a name on this, and I'm going to call it the Argentavis, which is basically a gigantic prehistoric bird. And since this is a large SV designed for me, that's why I decided to name it the Argentavis. So it will be TY-1, which T for me is transport, and the classification Y for me is a utility ship, meaning versatile in almost any role besides combat. All right. Yes, it does have twin cannons on it, not cannons, but Gatlings, but those are really for just clearing out any like squishies. This is, ain't gonna do any damage. It's not gonna win a fight, especially the way it's designed. It's not gonna win a dogfight, I guarantee you. But all in all, I mean, it's not the prettiest ship, but I really do adore it. It's growing on me the more I fly it. It has a little bit of a drift, but any good successful pilot will understand that, if you're drifting one way, just throw the thrust in the other direction to slow you down, kind of like a helicopter. So there's no real difference to that. Spotlights all over the front and all over the place in the back. The center spotlight's actually facing forward, while the other two are diagonal down, and I separated that in the device list. Alright, let's go inside. Come on. There we go. Okay, so here you got your warp tank access, you got your fuel tank access, and you got your mobile construction. Behind there is obviously two more generators on either side, and then you got your warp drive behind that. Plenty of cargo room. You got a cargo box here, two cargo boxes up there. There are extra ammo boxes tucked away in the depths of the ship, but there is this one that's accessible right here behind the captain's chair. Obviously, and I didn't get, why aren't these ones colored? That's not a real big deal, but they're supposed to be purple. Those are my colors. Anyways, you can see we got the RCSs right there. This thing could hold 6-7 people, including the pilot. So plenty of people. Definitely have enough for armors. Oh, forgot more cargo boxes down there. O2 station and plenty of O2 tanks. There's O2 tanks stuffed inside the ship as well, so this thing can hold for a while. It is very fuel economic, right? Like almost all my designs, I like fuel consumption. So obviously these are tucked away. These are the accessible ones that if you need to be able to access it physically, you could do it that way. Here's your core. You got electronics running out and fiber optics running out this way. You got your pilot seat console, right? It's a little nice and cozy in here. Now, I put switches up here, and I had sensors on the back. I am a complete noob when it comes to this stuff, so I am still learning. So hopefully by the time I release this, I would have figured this out and it will be part of the blueprint, but right now it's still a work in progress. Refrigerators right here in case you catch some food, but it's basically the essentials, right? And then obviously you got good vision, right? You can't really see on your sides, but you have good front vision and you have above vision, so if you're looking for baddies coming your way, you can see there. And that's really in a nutshell. I made some changes out here as well. Pardon me. So I moved these to the Type 1s, or the small thrusters. I moved them back to the medium. I was experiencing problems coming off of the planet. It was taking me exceptionally longer to leave the planet's atmosphere going straight up with vertical thrust, and can't have that happen. It's a transport ship that's going to hold people. It's got to move, not quickly, but quickly enough. This thing was moving like overpowered World War II Sherman tank. It was just, ugh. Anyhow, yeah, so that's really all I have. So the next thing I want to do with this is do some field testing. Nothing too extremis. Obviously, I don't expect it to do any type of combat. But what I want to see, and I actually got an invite from Ravencatcher from the Inflicted server to come on to their server. It's kind of like a, how can I say this, a friends community only type server, but where I could come on there and help them test their stuff, and they could help me test mine. So I might actually utilize that and have them chase me down with some SVs and CVs and see if they could shoot this down. It's kind of like when I did the test for the Thunderous Might. I want to see how long it would survive. So let's say we had 3 SVs attacking it and it stays floating for 3 minutes. Then if it was only 1, it would be 9 minutes. So just mathematical equations. Obviously I could figure that part out, but I just want to get the actual numbers and write it down on this little notebook I'm flopping around. Right? All that equates to whether I want to change the design or totally can exit. But as of right now, there's only 3 tests I really want to do this. Navigating the terrain of a planet, navigating the asteroids, and then getting chased down and its actual survivability. You know, would I be able to leave the planet or leave this ship? Excuse me. Leave this ship and be able to reach warp drive before the enemy actually killed me. So anyways, I do plan on releasing this to Steam. It will be released to the workshop with the Pax Imperia once I'm done with both of these. So the Pax is done, but obviously the Argentavis is not done. So once I complete the field test of the T1Y or the TY-1 Argentavis, then I will go ahead and release both of these coupled because they're married together. That's why I designed this one to match the other one. So yeah, look forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it has inspired you. I know a lot of people in the workshop inspire me. I don't like to use other people's stuff. I like to be able to build, create, and use my own. But hopefully this inspires you guys to, you know, and see how I did mine and what was going through my head. I know I'm not the best designer out there, okay? I know I'm not, but I try. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You're not only supporting me, you're supporting Empyrean, and you're also supporting other people that I play with, like Spange, and the Inflicted server as well. So that's all I got for you. Chief Rocky out.